Hello, everyone. Father Norm Douglas again from St. Vincent. Hey, I heard that last week we had a seminarian that gave a little reflection on this. I heard he was good too. He happens to be somebody who is a intern in our community, a pastoral intern, and it's great to have him here. And in fact, we look forward to his maybe doing a few more of these presentations. Maybe I'll go on vacation to Hawaii. Just kidding, but he can take over. Anyway, getting serious. If I were to say you are in a mixed group of people of different color, different ethnicity, different background, and I were to say, hey, everybody, let's get together. We don't know each other real well, but let's get together and talk about race. And you didn't know that was coming up. You were just at a gathering of people in the evening. How would you feel if that came out and you saw all these diverse people and you didn't know them well and now all of a sudden you're thrust into, are we really going to do this? And the sense is, hey, maybe we ought to take the time right now. What kind of anxiety or other kind of feelings may be going on inside you? Let's face it, I've known people of all colors and backgrounds, and I think this is an area that understandably many of us are uncomfortable about. We're not sure how we're going to understand what each other's perspective is, or we're going to say the wrong thing, or maybe we're going to see things very different and kind of you're right and I'm wrong. I mean, a lot of that is going on in our culture. Well, I want to talk just about a simple situation that maybe helps us to say we all need to understand how we can look at things differently, and on a number of areas, even mundane areas, not say, hey, we look at it the right way and you look at it the wrong way. Here's my brief story. A number of years ago, with a couple white friends, we were going to the funeral of a black man who was well established in the community and well thought of, and we were going to a Black Baptist church. Now, I had been in churches like that because I grew up in an integrated area in North Hill. But these guys had never been to a black church and, saying, well, what's it going to be like and everything. I said, well, hey, just come and experience it. So we did. Well, the church, it took about 2.5 hours for the service for this funeral. And there was a lot of singing and clapping, and as some of my friends said, gee, they sing a couple of these songs over and over and over again, verses. Why do they do that? And why do they have 8 or 9 people getting up and talking about this person? That seems like way too many. And I got where they were coming from because they have to be a Catholic background. That obviously as a priest I am, and a lot of our funerals, we certainly encourage people to be reflective, prayerful. We may have somebody speak about the person, but usually only one in a short period of time. So for my friends, this was alienating. But the caution was, and these are good guys, they came up with an attitude, what's wrong with them? Why do they do it that way? Why the shouting? Why the clapping? Why there's so many presentations? Why does it go on and on like that? We got jobs and this is the middle of the week. And afterward, we talked a little bit about that and just asked some questions and saying, okay, it's different. Do you think what we do in the Catholic community as a culture, do you think we're doing it right and they're having a funeral is somehow wrong? And as we went back and forth, they looked at it and they said, well, it's different. And I said, that's the point. Even in the race, there can be a lot of differences on all sides, but the danger of in those differences saying, well, hey, we do it correctly. What's wrong with them? I said, I've been in Latino colleges, Latino churches that at times, I remember the service was supposed to start at 4:00 and people didn't get there till 4:20 or 4:30. And I remember a couple of friends saying, why are they late? What's wrong? And a couple of the people that I talked to said, well, our sense of time, we don't see ourselves as being late. We're coming here, we're gathered. It is just a different perspective. And talking about my friends at this funeral, I also know that I've had some of my black friends who do come out of a Black Baptist church who have come to a Catholic church and have said, how come people are so quiet? How come they sing the kind of songs that people are praising and clapping? Because to them, coming to the Catholic church seemed to be wrong. So when I bring that up, there's a concept called cultural humility. And cultural humility says all of us need to be real careful as we embrace our culture to be humble about it and say the way our culture does things, including worship, may not be the only way. Is it our preference? Is it what we're used to? Yes. But to look at somebody else, and now culture in other ways too, music, so many other facets, when we start to say, hey, we do it the right way, they don't. And that happens black to white, white to black. And so, there's a lot more complicated issues than this, but more and more, maybe we need to ask one another, how do you see this? Do you have this experience? And can we appreciate difference and not put it down because it's different from what we do? All of us in those small areas and in the big complicated areas need to step back and hear one another, and rather than put each other down, try to say, hey, let me see what the value is in the goodness of how you're looking at this, and maybe I have something and my culture has something to learn. Anyway, another moment, let's try to be more open and understanding of one another.